This is Valmiki Ramayan, Season 6, Episode 10, Returning in Triumph. Hanuman put out the fire on his tail and surveyed what he had just done. He saw the smouldering ruins of Lanka. But suddenly, he was struck by a terrible fear. What if the blaze had killed Sita? As Hanuman rushed back to check on her, he thought to himself, "What have I done? I got carried away. I should have controlled my rage. If anything happens to Sita because of my foolishness, I will kill myself." But while he feared the worst, he also hoped for the best. Sita is radiant like fire. How can the blaze burn fire itself? Hanuman returned to the Ashokvan and found Sita still under the Shivshapa tree, safe. He said to her, "I am so glad to see that you are not hurt. Pashyami tvam ihakshatam." Sita was also very happy to see him again. She wished he could stay with her for some time. But Hanuman reassured her that Ram would come to her rescue very soon. And then he took his leave. Hanuman now had to cross the mighty ocean again. Remember how he had crossed it on his way to Lanka in episode 1 of this season. Once again, he employed the same technique. Hanuman would come out of the water with his arms spread out. He would take a deep breath and dive back in and push the water back with his hands. He also pushed forward as he struck the water with his legs. And once again, Valmiki uses the same imagery that he had used previously. Grasamana ivakasham taradhipam ivollikhan haranniva sanakshatram gaganam sarkamandalam. It was as though Hanuman was swallowing the sky, scratching at the moon, seizing the heavens, and pulling at the clouds. Note how Valmiki has repeatedly used the word iva, which means as though. He did not mean these descriptions literally. Poetically, he sees the ocean as the sky and Hanuman's swimming action as flying.
Yes, if Hanuman could actually fly, why would he use that power only to cross the ocean? He could have flown back all the way to Kishkindha.
Indeed. Hanuman reached the northern shore of the ocean, where the Vanaras were eagerly waiting for him. He came up to Jambavan and Angad and said, "Drishta Devi, I met Sita." The Vanaras erupted in joy. They howled and shrieked. They hollered and they roared. They jumped down from boulders and struck the ground with their tails in glee. It was mission accomplished. Angad said to Hanuman, "No one else could have done what you have managed to do. Aho swamini te bhakti, aho viryam, aho dhrutihi." What incredible bravery! What fortitude! What exemplary devotion to your Lord! Jambavan asked, "How did you find Sita? How is she? How does that cruel Ravan behave with her?" Hanuman then turned in the direction of Lanka and bowed down to Sita. Hanuman's meeting with Sita had created a deep impression on him. He had immense respect for her, for how she was conducting herself even after so many months in captivity. Hanuman then told the Vanaras all about his great adventure in Lanka. And he also spoke about Sita's condition, how Ravan and the Rakshasis were tormenting her, how she sometimes felt hopeless in her weaker moments. And finally, he concluded with humility, "I have been able to do all this because of Ram's blessings and your support. Now please suggest what we should do next. Angad was clear. I don't think we should go back and say, Drishta Devi na cha Anita. We found Sita, but we didn't get her back. Hanuman has already weakened the enemy. We should strike the Rakshasas now and take Sita with us. Why trouble the other Vanaras who have gathered in Kishkinda? But the wise old Jambavan advised the young prince otherwise. Our instructions were clear, and we have achieved our objective. We should now go back. Let Ram decide on the next steps. And so, they all triumphantly headed for Kishkinda, energized by their success. On the way, they came to a forest called Madhuvan. It was a special grove under Sugriva's protection, and it was enticingly attractive to the Vanaras coming home after many months on the road. For it had plenty of madhu, or honey, which had an intoxicating effect. The troops asked Angad for permission to enter Madhuvan and enjoy its delights. Angad consulted Jambavan and told them to go for it. And that's what they did. They ate and drank to their heart's content. And then they drank some more. Gayanti kechit, prahasanti kechit, nrityanti kechit. Some started singing. Some were laughing, while others danced. Some jumped down from trees, while others lost balance and fell. They roared, they laughed, and they pushed each other. And then they drank some more. Dadhimukh was the keeper of Madhuvan. He was shocked to see the Vanaras destroying the beautiful forest, breaking branches and throwing things around. He tried to stop all this. First, he argued with the drunk Vanaras politely. And when that did not work, he started scolding them. But let alone listening to him, the Vanaras beat him up, and all of his helpers too. And Hanuman, instead of stopping them, egged them on. Avyagra manaso yuyam madhusevata vanarah. Everyone, enjoy the madhu without any fear. If anyone tries to stop you, I will take care of it. Angad was glad to hear this. He said, we must do whatever Hanuman tells us to do. And when his orders are like this, who will not listen? Hanuman and Angad wanted the troops to have a good time after months of hardship. There is a time to work hard and a time to let loose. And then the revelry scaled new heights, or rather, reached new lows. The Vanaras were falling over each other, talking senselessly, making bird sounds, and drinking and spilling more wine. They also beat up the guards once again. An angry Dadhimukh was not going to let this go. He rushed to report the matter to Sugriva. I am sure Sugriva will pronounce the death sentence on these fools, he thought. Their days are numbered. When Dadhimukh reached Kishkinda, Sugriva was with Ram and Lakshman. He told Sugriva what had happened at Madhuvan. But to his utter shock, Sugriva said, I am so glad to hear this. I pardon them. Please go back and ask them to come here quickly. Sugriva knew his people well. He knew what the celebrations meant. He turned to Ram and Lakshman and said the words that they had been waiting to hear for so long. Drishta Devi na sandeha. Without a doubt, they have found Sita. Iti ha asa. That is how it happened.